All right, welcome to part two of this exploration that we're doing with Amulet. So the idea was to cut ancient steerings and to play Explorer instead. What I'm gonna try out right now is we made a couple of tiny changes, and basically all we did is we switched, so now we have two Explorer, two steerings. This should allow us to do something similar to what we were doing before in terms of like siding out Sakura Tribe Scout against mid-range matchups, while still hopefully having access to a little bit of ancient steering. So we're going to see how this works out. This is just, I'm just trying things out. Like, I'm not sure whether like this is better than the other one or anything like that. This is just like me trying things out, which is what I like doing with Amulet, right? I like to experiment and see what comes up. So that is as far as the list goes. And then in the sideboard, I traded one tracker for the second Force of Vigor. So nothing too crazy in terms of changes. But we're gonna join a league, and let's check it out. If you wanna check out the previous stream, you can always find the links in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. So you can always watch all my content here. Do you have a Reddit on Breathing Pool already? I have been liking it a little bit better. Like, there's not that much burn. Like, burn is basically like the main reason why I don't really love the Breeding Pool. Basically, like the only reason why I don't think Breeding Pool is great is specifically because of burn. I'm gonna give it a 7, by the way. Coming from burnout for getting bored with the deck for a year, Amulet has been such a nice. Oh yeah, for sure. House of Mana deck is very different. This deck doesn't play the Gracer. No, I haven't. Like I did play a little bit of Gracer in the past, but I've never really loved the card. It's just like a nice to have kind of thing. And now I am choosing to go with the main deck Rex Age instead of Gracer, and that is basically a concession to this stupid card, Karn the Great Creator, and his Snare Bridge. Playing against the better Titan deck, you wash your mouth, Penisel. You wash your mouth. Unless you mean that my opponent is playing against a superior Titan deck, in which case you will be correct. So we're basically just looking. What? Just upkeep, sack my Steve? Sounds good, bro. Alright. Explore. Bounce land. That's not a bounce land. Bog you. Ha, your Steve's gone now. Man, I remember one time my Amulet opponent played a bounce land on 2 and I acid mossed it. Yep, that feels pretty bad. Yeah, it feels pretty bad. You will see me do that kind of play around that kind of stuff when I'm playing against this kind of decks, you know. Oh, there you go. Speaking of the devil. Speak of the devil. I handily lost that match, but it felt good. Alright. Let's see what's up here. Bounce land? It is a bounce land. Alright. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead on Explore. See what we draw. Another Titan. So now what I can do is I can Garrison, bounce Forest, and replay it. And my options include playing out the Azusa and passing, or waiting until end step and Once Upon a Timing. So I'm gonna go with that, and hopefully we're gonna find any green bounce land, and that's going to allow me to do stuff. Basically, I'm just trying to not die to a Titan here. But if my opponent does have the Titan, hopefully they have Escape Shift hand. It seems that they have a Titan hand. This is going to be much harder to beat. And by much harder, I mean basically impossible to beat. Wait. Why did they get 2 copies of the same land? Yep, so they do have a Titan. Yep. I usually the way that this matchup goes is our Titans show up earlier, but their Titans are overall more powerful, and we have interaction when they don't really. Like Damping Sphere is I think literally their only form of interaction. But once my opponent resolves a Titan, we have basically no way of removing it, and also their Titans kill our Titans, which is not where we want to be. Alright, so also Field of the Dead is gone, so we're not going to be able to stabilize using that. So, we can Azusa. I guess that if somehow we don't die, then the second Titan might be able to punch through. Okay. So, whoops, not what I wanted to do. I'm going to play Azusa first. 1, 2. 1, 2. Stronghold Gemstone. And because I am banking on my second Titan resolving, I cannot really play around anything. Like I could have set up a situation where I could transmute this turn. But I don't think I can afford to do that. One, two, three, four, five. Ugh, they even get a freebie. Yeah. So this forces my opponent's primetime trigger to find more Valakuts, which means that's less damage that's going at my face. So it's not good though. It's certainly not good. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana total. That's not enough. We need more mana. Should have played Surgical Main Deck. I know, right? You played Crumble to Dust. Yeah, Crumble to Dust is. If you want to beat TitanShift, the card to play is Tectonic Edge. In my testing, when TitanShift was one of like the biggest contenders in the metagame, I tested all the cards. I tested Crumble to Dust. I actually tested Acid Moss in my sideboard. It wasn't very good. I tested. What else did I test? Oh, yeah. So this is like insanely lethal. And yeah, and out of all the cards that I tested, the one that yielded the best results was by far Tectonic Edge. Guru, I mean, it's rough. I mean, thank you for your interest in joining the subscribing and like and in the Patreon and stuff. But I mean, it's just a rough matchup. I definitely I share all my wisdom about it, you know, and hopefully it will be a little bit better for you. But it's just a bad matchup. It's not like you're definitely going to start winning a little bit more after you have the experience and the info, and you test the matchup more. But it's just always going to be a bad matchup, right? Like we just played against John Shadow a little bit earlier today, and it's just bad. Like it's just what it is. You don't need to feel you don't need to feel bad for losing the matchup or anything like that. It's just the way things go. Cited out once upon a time, they cited in them again, then cited out some Sakuras, then some Asusas, went up to Tula Summer. It is bad. Yeah, I mean, I don't like Veil of Summer in the matchup. I don't think it's very good, honestly. Yeah, so this is just like very lethal because of the Kali card, but I'm like I don't know what's taking my opponent so long. Is in Shadow basically if we not draw I don't know. No, there's a lot of like navigating and stuff like that that you need to think and go through. There's a lot of like sequencing and like when to transmute, when to pact. Also, it's very interesting. All of those little tricks come with experience. Um, I'm over this game. I'm making my opponent go through it, but I'm like this is we're done here. Um, Stamford Stroke, Rick Sage, Bog. Well, let's go with this. Actually, I kind of like something like this. Yeah, the second cavern, Guru, actually, like the second cavern in the cyber, like one of the biggest reasons is, people think that this is a card against control, and it is very good against control. Don't get me wrong, but like the main reasons to have a second Cavern of Soul in your sideboard is because of Storm and Grixis Shadow. Those are the two decks where Cavern of Souls is the most important, and where Cavern of Souls is like miles better than something like Carnage Tyrant or whatever. Seems like Blood Moon is good in this meta. Time to test it in Doesn't matter. Been there, done that. I actually played Blood Moon in the sideboard of Amulet. If you don't believe me, here it is for your own eyes to see. So I can get Amulet cards but not exactly covering. Is it worth playing? Yes. Yes. It's extremely important. Oh, you saw it? Doesn't matter? Yeah, Mimulet was hilarious. It was a lot of fun. It was so crazy that I ended up with a positive record with that stupid list. It's hilarious. I mean, it really shows the power of the shell, right? I think I even turned two somebody with Mimulet, which was just delightful. All right, game two. Mulligan. Yes. I'm gonna keep this, and I'm gonna bottom the force. Sage seems better against Damp Sphere. My opponent's gonna have two Damp Spheres, and I'm gonna be very, very sad, but it's fine. But Explorer cantripping is just pretty important here. And the other thing I could bottom would be the Scout. But I think I'm going to be a little bit greedy. I'm going to bottom the Force of Vigor. So just play another deck then. You mean like you don't even have a single Cavern? I mean, you can play without the Cavern. You obviously can play without the Cavern. You can play with a lot of cards that we do play, but how can I explain it? Basically, the cards that you need are going to be 4 Primeval Titans, 4 Amulets, 4 Packs, 4 Azuzas, 4 Scouts, and at least 1 Engineered Explosives. Basically, everything else besides that, and I guess lands from the mana base, including like the bounce lands and Tolera West and stuff. And anything barring that, you can play without. Now, you're going to have what is probably like a strictly inferior deck. Obviously, right? Like this card is extremely important in certain matchups, and that's like a big part of how our deck works, right? Our deck is actually a toolbox deck, so we have a bunch of lands that are only gonna be good in very specific matchups. I think you should retry Veil of Summer again. Had losses with it too. Blank my yeah. I tried Veil of Summer multiple times. Never once liked it. I don't think it's very good. In Amulet, that is. But I'm happy that you've been having success with it. Like the fact that I don't like it does not mean that you can't have success with it. Obviously. Actually, I wonder if I made a mistake and I should have once upon. I feel like I should have once upon a time there instead of Explorer, because I basically wasted a land drop there. Yeah, because even if my opponent goes with Dumping Sphere now, I'm gonna be using my turn to Sage. They don't, so that's good. But still, basically, I wasted a land drop that I should not have, and like the likelihood of me drawing a land off of the Explorer was much smaller than the likelihood of me drawing it off the Once Upon a Time, where we're just not drawing lands today. Oof. So I feel like I have to play around Acid Moss here. Guy I'm borrowing from wants to play humans. Oh, so he can lend you the card. Yeah, that's brutal. Yeah, I mean, again, you can play it. You have a Prey train where you can share your Savigard somewhere. Can you tell me how to get access to it? Yeah, Guru, I am going to be launching my Patreon this weekend. Actually, I am making sure that I am finishing up to like get some content in there before actually fire it up, and I am gonna do that between today and tomorrow, and then on the weekend I am going to release the Patreon. So stay tuned. Stay tuned for that. How was the last league? It was awful, Jose. It was awful. I did not win a single game. ¿Qué haces, Axelín? ¿Todo bien? Bienvenido al stream, papu. ¿Cuándo arrancas vos? ¿Cuándo arranca tu streaming? Todo chilling. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna be saging this thing. Definitely gonna be saging that crap. Ah, ¿estuviste streameando? Ah, no lo vi. No lo vi. If my opponent offers a trade, I'm gonna take it 100%. Llamo la semana y me pasas los tips de una, papu. De una. Yeah, I think end step, I'm just gonna flash in the turf. We have a couple of good draws here. Castle would be good. Any untap land would be good. But I'm actually very, very interested in blowing this up. Huh. In fact, if given the chance, do I blow it up or do I Titan here? Alright, I'm not given the chance, because that's just the day that we're having today. So I'm not given the chance to do anything about it, so Yeah, I think I'm actually going to bluff having access to another bounce land here. Like, I showed my opponent that I was willing to play around Acid Moss last turn. I'm happy to see I sometimes... Dude, I brick all the time. What are you talking about? I'm not that lucky. There's certainly way luckier people out there. I mean, I am moderately lucky. Let's put it that way. But I do brick very often. Like today, I basically bricked every single match I played today. I bricked on something. I'm a laxack. I mean, I make myself get lucky. If that's what you mean. They're gonna go for the acid moss, and I can't punish them. I'm definitely gonna give them the Heartstopper. Wow. Definitely gonna give them the Heartstopper, but yeah, you got it, OP. There's some skill to it, yeah, I know. Go TitanShift. You're mean, Big Monkey. You're mean. You're mean. At this point, we can't come back from this. Like, we bricked on that turn on the land. But I do think it was correct. Like, I was playing around the acid moss. That's what I did. Why I had like the bounce line in hand and I didn't use it. But at that point, like there was the upside of actually being able to Titan, and I just can't let that go, right? Like I just cannot have that happen. So I think that it was correct to do it there. I mean, we're probably not gonna be able to come back now. This is just we're too far behind, and we have 2 blanks in hand, which doesn't help. I mean, I guess we can draw castle off the top. What's the most inferior thing that you see some pros in their streams or in paper saying or needing? If I draw this X card, then I'm fine. And in reality, it's the only thing that they can save them, or else they lose. And they draw it with extreme consistency and they win. I mean, I don't think that is that true. And again, and I think that's a thing. I talked about this multiple times, but it's just like those pros that you're talking about right now. They sequenced a card on turn 2 that enabled them and put them in a position that on turn 6 they allow themselves to like top deck that card and come back from it. So I think that is very very that is very easy to like not see sometimes, and I think it's something that a lot of people fail to see, and I think that it's actually extremely important, and it's what differentiates like the people that are there, right, as opposed to the people that are not there. And this is just game at this point, right? Like I can't come back from this, so GG's. Oops, definitely not 1-0. Not today. Today we're not 1-0. The O5 dream. Yeah, Guru, obviously, but like there is obviously like you're playing a game that intrinsically has luck. And that's why I don't understand people who tilt. It's just like if you wanna play a game where there's no luck involved, go play chess. And then you can tilt about how your opponent outplayed you or something. But it's just like there is luck. Like you are signing up to play a game that is based on luck. Then getting tilted at being unlucky or something like that is just stupid. And that's the most annoying part about tilt. It's just like it's so unfounded. Snapping this hand off, by the way. Trying to find a bounce land as usual. Oh, Whew. Are we playing against Grishoalbrand? Are we really gonna hit like literally every terrible matchup that we have? Is that what's going on today? And we draw a blank. Today's a rough day, huh? ¿Cómo sabes ese pibe? Matt Maxon, welcome back to the Primetime Circle. 9 months in a row of that tier 1 sub. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold. Yeah, so we're going to steerings here, trying to find Bog. We don't. So we get a second Amulet and we guarantee lethal next turn. Giant here. And now it's basically up to whether my opponent has it or not. Like, they need to kill me right now. Or we kill them on 3. Can we just all agree, by the way, how genius the game of chess is? Oh yeah, chess is incredible. Chess is probably the best game ever made. Yeah, you also remember when they hit, but you don't remember. Yeah, exactly. We do have that kind of like biased thinking, you know. It's just the way that we think as people. All right, so we're probably gonna die to this Grishoalbrand. Not a good Amulet day today? No, doesn't matter. No, it isn't. This is the worst part about losing streaks. You get into the losing bracket and play against weird or bad matchups. Yeah, I mean that's one of the things about Amulet, right? Like some like meme decks are terrible matchups for us. Like Neobrand is terrible for us. This deck is terrible for us. This one is even worse too because they even play Blood Moon. It's just brutal. What's the name of this stupid deck? Mill. Mill is like absolute worst matchup, and it's just like the memeiest deck ever. Yeah, Amulet just has some really bad like meme matchups. Yeah, so my opponent won because they were on the play and I was on the draw and I died. Guru with that tier 1 sub. Welcome. Welcome to the Primetime Stronghold, Guru. Thank you for the support. And you do know how to access the Cyber Guide, right? If you need you know, to know how to do it, for sure, let me know. So I'm bringing in Cavern of Souls because this is a green source on turn 1 for Rocastian Scout, where Radiant Fountain and Field of the Dead are not. Either my opponent combos me out or I win. So like Field of the Dead, Radiant Fountain, this is not what the matchup is going to be about. Engineered Explosives is also really bad, but this one is a little bit more defensible because sometimes you get to snatch a Blood Moon. It's not very likely though, so I'm just gonna take it out. And Rex Sage and Force of Vigor are gonna be coming in because of Moon, as I was saying. We're probably gonna take one Explore out. Not sold. Disdainful Stroke basically counters Through the Breach. But like Bog takes care of Goryo's Vengeance, so having access to Through the Breach, having access to answers to Through the Breach seems like something I'm interested in. Yeah, Guru. So what you need to do is you need to join the Discord, which is the first link over there. Activate esos. And then I'm gonna keep this hand, by the way. And then you need to go to settings and link your Twitch and your Discord accounts. And then after you can need to wait a couple of hours because it updates every couple of hours. And once you do, then you're going to get access to the sub only channels. So we're gonna name Giant here. I mean, it's not really gonna matter, right? Because we're gonna be bouncing that anyway. So here we want to make sure that we are setting ourselves up in the best possible way. So we're going to be able to play Azusa here off of the Sanctuary. Ghost Squatter. I guess this allows me to Ghost Squatter myself. One, two, three, four, five, six. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm simply going to like transmute for a Titan, but I'm going to like not hold any bounce lands left in hand. And the reason for that is that I already have Titan mana, and I just want to have more lands in play for next turn. So next turn I can attack with a Titan and I can haste, and then I can also transmute. And then I'm gonna have access to both blue and green mana to Pact. And if I don't do this in this way, then I'm not going to be able to pay for both packs on my following upkeep. So that's the reason why I'm doing this in this way. You should name Demon. That's why I think Negate is better. I mean, it's using the word better is just not correct, if that makes sense for us, Jack, because it's not better. Like, it's a situational counterspell. It's going to be better in some scenarios, and it's going to be worse in some other scenarios. So if you are playing against Ursa and your opponent casts an Ursa, you're going to be very, very happy that you have a Disdainful Stroke in hand instead of a Negate. Same thing if your opponent cast a Primetime. Like we played against TitanShift the previous round, right? If I had a Disdainful Stroke at any point, my opponent both times killed me with a Primeval Titan. They did not kill me with Escape Shift. So I would have been staring at a Negate in my hand while my opponent just kills me with the other guy, right? So saying that Negate is better than the other one is just a fallacy, because that's not the case. It's not better. It's just situationally better. So we have one more land drop still, and this is why I did exactly what I said I was doing last turn, right? So on the attack trigger, I'm going to get a Simic Growth Chamber, and I'm going to get Tolaria West. I'm going to bounce the T-West, and I'm going to get a Pact of Negation. Yeah, I'm not crazy. I'm just making sure that all my math works out. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 mana, 8, 9, yeah. Attack with all. T-West Simic Growth Chamber. Bounce the Sanctuary, whatever. Only creators for commission that Ursa and Premier Titan, maybe Wormcoil. Wormcoil never matters. Thought-Knot Seer matters, though, out of Tron. But that's about it. But yeah, I mean, like, Ursa is... Even though I have not faced a single Ursa deck in 2 weeks or maybe more, Ursa is still a very large percentage of the metagame, so... The only bad part about this line is the fact that if my opponent plays a Blood Moon, I'm going to need to counter it. The good thing, though, is that if they do play a Blood Moon, then next turn I can set up lethal with my Titan, so we should be fine anyway. Unless they have, like, Slaughter Pact or something. Knight's Whisper, you got it. Wormcoil doesn't matter? No. You outpower Wormcoil very easily thanks to Primeval Titan and Sunhome. I I can probably count like the number of games that I've lost to Wormcoil. I can probably count them in one hand. Like you never lose to Wormcoil. You lose to Karn. Both of the Karns. You lose to Ulamog, but you don't lose to Wormcoil. You even sometimes lose to Thoughtnuts here out of Tron more often than you lose to Wormcoil. Like if you get for 6, it doesn't matter. No, because it's Tron, right? So no, it doesn't matter. Like Tron doesn't. The life race, like the life discrepancy, doesn't matter against Tron. You're either dead with 0 cards in your battlefield, or you're winning the game. Few things feel like good as back negation backup. Yeah, it really does. This is not a keepable hand, I don't think. If either this were a semi-gross chamber and I had a little bit of interaction, then I would keep it. But as is, this is already a mulligan, so I'll just ship it. Okay. This one I'm going to keep. I think I'm shipping Azusa though. If I double exactly an Amulet, then the Azusa is going to be relevant. But having access to a redundant summoner spec means that, first of all, I'm a little bit safer from a Thoughtseize, and I can also like basically spew one of my summoner specs in order to get a Rex Sage. So I feel like I'm into that. If my opponent like get me and they have like this is brutal. If they had like fail a push or something is what I meant. I feel like I'm gonna need some help. So like the redundant cavern doesn't really do anything for me. So I'm gonna go with the redundancy. Of course, I'm totally gonna get punished by that line, but I still think it's correct. Like, there's no way my opponent's playing Fatal Push in their deck. There is a big chance that they are playing Thoughtseize, though. Alright, so we die. Yeah, so this is basically like a forest proxy. It seems that my opponent kept like a turn, like they just need 1 mana source and then I'm dead. Yep. Here comes the Gorios. And my attack for 1 wouldn't have changed the amount of cards that they get to draw with the Grishoalbrand, so I don't think that it was correct to attack. There's the Gorios Vengeance. Not much we could have done here. Today is just not my day, you know? Sometimes it is like that, though. It's okay. Desperate Ritual. Metamorphose. I just noticed that that's right. My opponent doesn't have Faithless looting. I just noticed my opponent doesn't have Faithless looting. That's why they're playing the merchant thing. That's hilarious. I totally forgot that Faithless looting is banned. I'm sorry, but I can't bear the lose streak. Up to that's fine, Hofi. That's good. Yeah, watching somebody lose is not as fun as watching somebody win. But I'm okay with it. Like I mean, I don't feel like I'm playing bad or anything. It's just like, I mean, we're seeing it. First of all, we're trying like a weird experiment. Like we're playing like what I don't think it's an optimal configuration by any means. And second of all, like basically the variance that we've been hitting has just been brutal. We've been hitting some really bad variants. Look at that. That's a nice little break to hit there, you know. Have you considered maybe Explorer is worse? I have, yeah. I certainly have. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This has been my day today, huh? Well, I guess we can transmute. I can transmute for explosives this turn, but then I will need to wait until next turn to play it out because I'm gonna need the colorless from the Radiant Fountain. Yeah, okay. Alright. Engineer the explosives, plus the turn. Yeah, that's what I'm setting up. That's what I'm setting up. Is that gonna be a matter reshape? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my day today. Oh my day today. Oh, this is my day today. They took my explosives. So I have no answers. Like the only answer that I have to this chalice is I need to naturally draw my Rex Sage. But I mean, this is how likely is that my opponent is not only they're playing Eldrazi Tron, right? Like they showed me land, and like we know that they're playing Eldrazi Tron. Well, my opponent is playing a version with Eldrazi Tron that has Simian Spirit Guide, and they also have one of their Eldrazi temples in hand, which is the only way that they can Thought Knot me on turn 2. Which is the only way that they could have taken my explosives on that turn. So, I mean, you can see that, like, the extremes of variance that we're hitting today are definitely out of the ordinary. This is not some normal variance. This is not some normal variance. We're definitely hitting the lowest ends of the spectrum. Cheer if you believe we're playing versus look like Milan Storm next. I mean, that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. I mean, it's the only way that I would expect things to go. It's literally the only way that I would expect things to go. Like if we're gonna go down south, let's go down as the southest possible. Endbringer, sounds good, sure. Thought-Knot Seer. So basically I have like one turn to draw a Titan. And after that, the Endbringer is just gonna ping my Scout. So what I'm considering here is whether it's worth it for me to cash in this Scout for 4 life. I also want to make sure that No, I think I'm just gonna hold it. Nope. Drop and restart FTGO. Neoform turn 1 kill. My opponent is playing Sanctum of Ugin in their Eldrazi Tron deck, and I'm losing to it. This is too much to handle. This is too much to handle. Is it Neoform or worse matchup? Even worse than Blue Black Mill? I wouldn't think so. So Guru, what Neoform has is that it whiffs a lot. Blue Black Mill does not whiff. This sums it up perfectly, right? This sums up my day perfectly. Oh my. Oh my. Alright, we do have some weapons for post sideboard configuration for sure. Oh yeah. Bring it up. You've stopped believing it. Yeah, the first league was an 0-4 drop. How do they interact with us? Basically, like our entire deck is based around this card and this card, and my opponent. So imagine if you think of Mail as burn. Imagine that your opponent is playing burn, but they are playing with 4 main deck copies of a card that says 0 mana, deal 8 damage to your opponent. How would your burn matchup be if your opponent had that card in their deck? Or like 7 damage, I guess. Like 6 damage, I guess? 0 damage, 0 mana, 6 damage. I'm gonna keep this and I'm gonna bottom one of these scouts. In before Dismember, but that's fine. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the fact that they play main deck Surgical also helps, but it's just like they don't need the Surgical to beat you. Like, the Surgical is just icing on the cake. That's just something that they can do to you to make things even worse for you. But it's not like the Surgical is what's killing you. What's killing you is the fact that your opponent has 0 mana. Turn 1 TKS. Turn 1 Matter Reshaper. Well, this one we can probably beat. And I'm very happy that I bottom the second Scout instead of bottoming my second Titan. Because now we're not so afraid of Thought-Knot. Also, my opponent uses Spirit Guide to power out a Reshaper on 1, which means that it's less likely for them to have a Thought-Knot on 2. Ballista. I have days like this before, makes me never want to play Magic, but then you hit the 3 out of an M, you're back in top. I mean, it's fine. Like, variance is just fine, you know? Because it works both ways. That's a beautiful thing about variance, is the fact that it's not that it always works one way. So Castle doesn't speed me up. Castle does not speed me up. Since Castle doesn't speed me up, what's the play here? Well, I guess Castle potentially speeds me up. So I guess that I should transmute for it. Like, if I get Castle now, that means that any untapped source... Any untapped source gives me Titan mana next turn? Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, we don't have a forest, so Castle would enter tapped. So I'm just like basically playing to the out of... Yeah, my opponent just... Yeah, the chalices don't matter. Also, I just realized that my opponent skipped one attack step. Yeah, so we're looking very good this game. We're looking super, super good this game. Play a Susa, play this guy. Yeah, so we just win now. So this is going to be a smasher? Yeah, that's fine. 5, 6, 7, 8. Down to 9. I think I take it. Any land means that I get to... So I can't trigger field, so there's no need for me to do that. So we're going to do Radiant Fountain and just like a bounce land. Yeah, sure. This is game 4. Up to 13. Now even Second Smasher doesn't do it. Next turn, field just stabilizes. This is a Thought Knot. Alright, so bye-bye Prime Time. Hey, Seikov, how you doing? Yeah, it's been a rough stream. What are you doing, opponent? Just get the Titan. That's literally the only card that you care about. There we go. Opponent figure it out. So what are we looking for? 0 cards in hand. Alright. Alright. So if I attack, I don't have good attacks, right? Okay. Got another chalice. Sounds good. So explosives on 4. Classic. Karn is amazing here if it's still in the deck. What do you mean? Like I'm not playing Karn today. Let's go tap here. Simic growth. Alright, so they should be game over now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Field of the Dead and Sunhome. This should be game over, even if my opponent top decks all is dust. They don't have the mana to cast it. Next turn I can swing through with the Titan because of Sunhome. We are golden. I would have also cast the Bailout there if I wanted to. I don't think I want to, because I'd rather just hold the bounce line in hand. Why not just 2 fields and replay bounce line several times? I just said it because I don't care about like the zombies. I just want my Titan to attack through. Sunhome allows me to do that. Like having 5 zombies or having 10 zombies, it's the same. Like I'm winning. My opponent cannot win the game anymore. So whether I win the game with like 10 zombies in play or whether I win it with only 5 zombies in play, it doesn't matter. All right, this is hot. Turn 1 Thought Knot. It wouldn't surprise me at this point. All right, Once Upon. I feel like I want second Azusa. Like if I have a Titan here, I would certainly go for that, but I think I'm gonna go with second Azusa. Yeah, because this basically guarantees that even if my opponent Thought Knots me, I am going to Azusa Demon 2 and then Titan Demon 3. They would need like double TKS, like turn 2 TKS, turn 3 TKS, or turn 2/3 TKS plus Chalice for 0, which is doable. I mean, it's what my opponent's been doing all the game so far, so it wouldn't surprise me. But if I had not found the second Azusa there, well, there's a Chalice. So now we just win. Dope. All right. We finally catch a break. Feels good, man. Feels good to catch a break for a chance. The opponent says gross. I'm like, yeah, I agree. Yeah. What do I bounce here? I guess I bounce this. How do I lose? I can't kill here, so I don't want to go for double strike. So I think I'm gonna do T-West because it finds me explosives. And we already have colorless sources. So I'm gonna do T-West, Field of the Dead. No packs to pay for, so we should be good. We're fine. Opponent just chumps. All right. Yeah, there's a chalice on 0, so I cannot make multiple Titans. Otherwise, I would have double Titan, right? But the chalice stops the chain. I mean, this game is over, right? Like, my opponent has like what, a Matter Reshaper? I mean, if my opponent is choosing to not concede to me, I guess I'm gonna have some fun. My opponent says, nice opening hand, bro. I'm like, it was good. I guess they didn't appreciate it. Wow. On to the scoreboard. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I guess my opponent forgot about what happened in game 1, right? My opponent very quickly forgot about the fact that they turned 2 Thought Knot at me with a chalice on 0, right? My opponent went turn 1, chalice on 0, Ursa's Mine, Expedition Map, and then they played the Thought Knot Seer on turn 2 because they went Exile Simian Spirit Guide and play Eldrazi Temple, and they took my Titan. And then I died because I never got to cast a Titan. We're shipping that hand for sure. We're also shipping this hand. And we're keeping this one. We're bottoming second T-West. Actually bottoming both T-West, right? Yeah, I think so. Because we have the pieces that we need here. We just need lands. Serum Visions. Who called that we were gonna be playing against Storm? Who was it? Who in chat called that we were gonna be playing against a terrible matchup now? Why would you say such a thing? You can't say these things because they become true then. Guru, I know, it was you, yeah. Damn it. Oh, okay. So we're playing against the Blue-Red Delver deck. That's been... I guess it's been a thing lately? So we're gonna be Azusa on 3, and then... Transmuting on 4 if I have to. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna get to player Azusa, which is nice. Archmage's Charm is kind of a beating. So because of Castle, we already have Titan mana, so that's why I'm gonna take a turn off, and I'm gonna try to transmute this for a Cavern of Souls. I could also transmute for Explosives on 2. Are they gonna offer the trade? Because I'll take it. Oh yeah. definitely taking this trade. Oh, yes. Cavern of Soul, Naming Giant. Pass a turn. Nice mana leak, bro. And we're probably going to be gaining some life next turn because we're going to need to stabilize. We played twice in a row against this deck. Even if I know, yeah. 4-0 from storming it bad that way. Yeah, I didn't end up 5-0 in the other day. You like this deck? I don't know. It feels kind of. I mean, it's just Delver in Modern, right? Like Delver, just because of how it works and like the significantly lowered power of cantrips. Just like Delver does not flip as reliably, and when it does, it's even not that easy to protect. So, I mean, it's definitely less powerful than it's in Legacy. Let's put it that way. The only thing I'm trying to figure out here is whether I want to make some Sombos here. Because if the idea is to make Sombos, then playing out this Tolario S is going to be better for me. But that means that I don't get to gain life. So I think I'm going to go the gain life route for now. Actually, my favorite decks of all times in Modern was Twin. My second favorite, Grixis Delver, was Hitaxian Pro. My third, Amulet. That's a good tier. That's a good tier. I'm not a fan of the Delver one, but I was just never a big fan of the Delver decks, really. However, Deprive, just to bounce the Mystic Sanctuary and get a token. Force of Negation, just to get a token. That's a lot of work to get some dudes into play. Yeah, I'm just gonna do Boros Garrison and Radium Fountain. Again, we're not gonna be able to trigger Field here, so gaining life is gonna be the highest EV play. Bojuki Bog was also a consideration, but the thing that Bojuki Bog has is like my opponent has a Mystic Sanctuary in hand, and it doesn't matter. Like their cards just are not particularly relevant. Wow, they have double bolts. Okay, I mean this is the way, I guess, right? This is the way that they break through. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm gonna be going down to 7. And my opponent's gonna be probably drawing a lightning bolt. Alright, so now they're drawing a bolt. So my I need to stabilize this board state, knowing that I'm at a virtual 4. So how do I get there from a virtual 4? My opponent has no counter magic, so I don't need to play around that. They have 6 power, so 6 of this, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana total. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. But I can't crack. Oh yeah, I can crack. But that should be enough to stabilize, right? So, transmute. for engineered explosives. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to think if I can also attack, but I don't think I can. I can either crack explosives or, yeah, so I'm gonna go up to 9, and so I guess I can go up to 11. That seems better. Need to make sure that I can pay for Pact, which I can because I have perfect info. Even I have perfect info of my opponent's top of the deck. So making zombies doesn't make sense because I'm going to be blowing everything up. So I'm just going to get Vesuva plus Semi-Growth Chamber here. And just gain the max possible amount of life. So now they draw the Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I'm just going to blow this up right now. And my opponent's going to end up with one more counter, but it's fine. So I'm at a virtual 5 here. 1, 2, 3. Undo. Just pay here. We can get Titan again. I made a mistake, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I should have casted Titan first. It's probably gonna be fine though. So Field of the Dead and Tolaria West, I guess. Someone respect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Semi-growth and grow turf. I guess they could have main deck Blood Moon. Maybe I'm like so far ahead that I should have played around that. I'm not sure though. Like if my opponent bolts end of turn and then they cryptic tap, then I actually die. So yeah, I think it's correct to do this instead. It's probably more likely for them to have a cryptic in their deck than for me to have for them to have a Blood Moon in their deck, right? No, we did have a land drop. Yeah, we were fine. We have entered the garbage time. That's funny. For 3 mana, then I don't think my opponent can do anything to stop me now. Don't stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having a ball. Don't stop me now. If you wanna have a good time, just consider the game. Don't bolt me now. Don't bolt me now. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good comedy right there. That's what that is. All right, sideboarding. What kind of music do you enjoy playing and hearing the most? Is it prog or something? Yeah, I move around a lot. I do love prog music to the surprise of nobody, considering the music that I play whenever whenever I'm about to go live. Um, I do enjoy me some prog music for sure. I also do like a lot of Latin music, especially Cuban. I'm a big fan of timba, a big fan of Brazilian music as well. I do like fusion, not so much jazz, but I do like fusion a lot. This hand is not very good. This hand is significantly better. We're going to keep it and we're going to bottom one of these specs. We have an answer for a threat, which is nice. Yeah. That's a gross draw. And by gross, I mean very bad. Yeah, I guess I want another bounce here, right? Get out of here. Stupid legacy staple. Glad you enjoyed, friend. I'm just finishing up work, so sign up for now. Thanks for 9 months of teaching me. Oh, thank you. You're very welcome, Matt. You're very welcome. Dismember. Ugh, never lucky. All right, let's see what happens here. Remand with Dismember feels so bad. I mean, yeah, but like Remand's probably going to be very good against us anyway, right? So here comes the moon. No moon. All right. Another young PC. Okay, that is a problem. We're too far behind here. I need to take risks. We're too far behind. We die to Blood Moon, that's fine. My opponent just keeps offering the trade with a young PC. That's fine, yeah, that's okay. We were too far behind. Like we were not gonna win that game anyway, so I was perfectly fine losing to Blood Moon there. But by playing around the potential Blood Moon that my opponent could have had, then we would just be losing to my opponent's own board stupid young pyromancers. So I think it was definitely correct for me to go for it there, and I actually do like this hand a fair bit. We don't have one drop that we're trying to draw into, so we're just going to play this out and pass the turn. I remember the match where BBD was facing the 10-2 Titan through his remand that led to a Summer Bloom banning. It was gross. It wasn't BBD. It was it BBD? I'm pretty sure it wasn't BBD. Wasn't it Hoogland that just like got destroyed by Amulet in like the finals of an event or something? I can't remember. Oh, it was BBD. Okay. I honestly don't remember. Like the image that I have is like Bobby Fortinelli just going off in the face of Hoogland. Just like unstoppable in classic Summer Bloom fashion. Summer Bloom was not okay. Summer Bloom was not okay. Huh. Well, I'm doing this. Opt. All right. Thanks for the info. Bog you. And then I think I'm gonna bounce the basic forest here. If we get mooned, we get mooned, but yeah, I think I'm gonna preemptively play these explosives on 3 here. The luck is back where it needs to be. The luck is back where it needs to be. Hallelujah. Field garrison. I actually didn't think this through. Oops, man, all the mistakes I'm making. I didn't think this through, and I should have. I should have bounced the bounce land there. That was just a stupid misclick. That's not a crazy thing. But yeah, I should have played the basic forest first, and then I should have played the basic forest first, and then I should have actually bounced the bounce land there. That the bouncing the bounce land was just a mistake on my part. That's just, I'm just being dumb. Sorry to interrupt, but I totally just beat the rack, which has been hard for me in the past, and I took your advice. Oh, thank you, Mike Castle. Oh yeah, you talked on my Discord, right? And I gave you, I told you to like look at the cyber guide, dude. Like the cyber guide, I mean that is exactly what I was trying to achieve. Nice. I'm very happy that it worked out for you, Mike. That is like the entire point of the cyber guide, right? Like when I made a decision to start writing the cyber guides, the entire point behind them was to give people a resource that basically they could use regardless of list, regardless of metagame. So basically, all the stuff that I put in those pages is evergreen, if that makes sense. So it doesn't matter where the meta is, like all that stuff, as long as the decks that you're facing remain being decks, those tips are gonna work. It doesn't matter when, or how much the meta has changed and that kind of stuff. All right, so we're gonna do this over here. Actually, I kind of want to kill the Delver, so let's start there. So Delver, get out of here. And then this for 2. Crack it. Zombo. Bounce. Zombo. Bounce. Zombo. Dope. Alright. Cavern is basically just a free bring versus this deck, says my opponent. GG's. GG's. I agree. I agree that Cavern is very good against that Delver deck. Delver suffers once a Titan has a result. Yeah, that's the point. I mean, it's a tempo deck, right? Tempo decks, just by nature, are very easily overpowered. So their strategy is basically to prevent you from doing something. They prevent you from developing your plan. That's what they do in Legacy, and they have like incredible answers, like Days, Wasteland, and Force of Will. That's why Delver is so strong in Legacy, and why it's not so strong in Modern, is because it just doesn't have ways to come back from behind. So when you put a Cavern of Souls in front of a Delver deck, there's literally nothing that they can do, because their interaction, like their way of stopping you from doing your thing, is to counter, right? If I had been on the draw, if I had been on the play, sorry, on the draw, yeah, I would have kept that hand, because I'm a greed monster and I love science. But I like this one though. This is actually an excellent hand. On the play too. Oh yeah. So we should have a turn 3 Titan with Amulet. Hello. Always watch the videos on YouTube, but today I can still. Oh, welcome, Murillo. How you doing? Glad that you enjoy my YouTube content. I am going to start. I was sick for like 2 weeks, and then I also had had a ton of work this past week. So my opponent says I always watch your content. Oh, thank you. That's nice. But yeah, I am going to start making some more content a little bit more reliably now, hopefully, barring of course the fact that I might get sick again, because that has been a thing lately. This hand looks nuts. Just the nutter butters. If my opponent's a mono green Tron, then I don't think that they can win. Oh, thank you, Guru. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, cyber guides are. I try to make them easy to access. Can I 20 my opponent here? So 1, 2. That's 2 land drops in order to cast my Titan. Titan comes down. It finds Sunhome, Stronghold. I replay Garrison. I bounce. No, I don't have enough. No, I don't have enough. Yeah, so my opponent's being really nice, so I'm answering back. I try to be nice to my opponents always. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so there's no way that I don't have lethal here. So basically I'm gonna have mana to spare. So because of that, I think yeah, my opponent just goes for the F6 value. So I'm going to Once Upon, mostly because I can afford to. And I guess this doesn't really help me at all, but that's fine though. It doesn't matter. It was free to do it, so it's fine. So we packed for prime time. We prime time, yes. Yeah, my opponent just concedes. Yeah, so what I was going to do is I was going to haste the Titan. So I was going to get Stronghold, Ghost Quarter. Then I was going to use the Scout to flash in the Boros Garrison. I was going to haste the Titan, and then on the attack trigger, I was going to Vesuva my own Ghost Quarter and get some other land, whatever, and just something to make sure that I don't die to my pact. So more green sources, and then that basically locks them out. My opponent smartly just conceded. I'm going to assume that we're playing against mono green Tron instead of Eldrazi. Yeah, so the important thing is my opponent can really just like concede at any point. It's just a matter of they definitely want to concede before they show me whether they are playing before they show me whether they are playing wastes, which would mean that they're playing Eldrazi Tron, or whether they are playing a basic forest, right? Like that's the big chunk of information that they do not want to show me. Any point that they concede before that, it's pretty much like it doesn't matter. But those are like the two main. that is the main EV that my opponent has access to. Just like make sure that they don't give me that information for free. Because I know that they are on some version of Tron, but I don't know which. I sideboarded as I would against mono green Tron, but they could be on e-Tron. I don't know. I like this hand. This Deceitful Stroke, of course, extremely strong in this matchup. That's not bad. So I think I'm just going to Vesuva my opponent's tower here. Just to not expose this Stronghold or not show it or whatever. And then next turn I'm just going to Amulet into Simic Growth. Holding up But basically, I did not want to expose the amulet to a potential. I did not want to expose the amulet to a potential nature's claim, basically. Now we have our blue and green mana set up and ready to go. Eldrazi Temple. You see, I knew it. I knew that it was likely that my opponents were hiding some info there. Can we talk about tight plays here? Can we talk about tight plays? Oof. Speaking of tight plays. All right. Azusa. And this. I'm gonna play the Excavator and pass a turn. Of course, like this should not be my deck, right? Like I sideboarded poorly because I sideboarded against Mono Green Tron, and my opponent got their value, right? Like last turn, last game, they basically got a little bit of an information advantage on me. Like they knew what I was playing, but I didn't know what they were playing. So yeah, so like my sideboarding is gonna be very poor in consequence. So what's the best thing I can find here is either a Tolaria West or a red source here. All right, so that's a red source. Basically, I can Gemstone Mine, tap for red, activate here. That's 4/5. Can I do this? Or I can choose to go the Field of the Dead route and just start going wild with zombies. Ghost Quarter plus ramming up. I mean, it is tempting. Should we do it? All right, we're gonna do it. All right. The chat has spoken. The chat has spoken. All right. So first of all, let's actually attack. Let's do things properly. Tackle at Karn. That one. And that one. Damn it. And that one. Yes! Alright, we got there. So now my opponent's kind of forced into minusing Karn to like Sorcerer Spyglass or Biting Needle or something in order to stop the Ghost Quarter lock, which is hilarious. Just getting some strip mine value. Yeah. Oh, this is great. No, Guru. If you want, I recommend you if you want to understand like how Azusa and all this. In short, it doesn't work. Like multiple Azusas just don't work. However, if you would like to understand, like go a little bit deeper and understand a little bit better why, then I recommend you go ahead and you check out the video that I made on this. This was Demystifying Amulet Titan, which you can check out in my YouTube channel. I guess I should not have destroyed the tech edge, right? Because now I could have copied it with Vesuva. Alright, so we're gonna clean the Karn here. So Karn's cleared, and we kind of have nothing going on besides that. Oh, we're totally gonna get punished for our greed. Obviously, like my opponent has Tron now, right? So we're totally getting punished here. But it was fun though. it was exciting for a second there. Now they have actual Tron. They also drew Tron in like back-to-back turns, which is pretty brutal for us. Oh, second Karn. Ugh. Ugh. Yikes, yikes, yikes. I'm gonna kill my Amulet. That's cute. I don't think I like that line. I think it would have been better for them to... Yep. Yep. It was gonna happen, right? Like it was only fair. It was only fair for me to get punished by my stupid line. I think I don't do anything, right? Like I have mana to do anything that I guess I don't have mana to transmute. So I kind of want to hold the bounce line in hand though. So I guess I'm gonna do this just so I can transmute if I want to. This would have happened regardless of the line, right? Well, we would be able to clock the Karn, right? Because we would have had access to field. And now they can very effectively protect the Karn by... They minus? Oh, for Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah, okay. And then they're going to kill the Azusa, I guess. Alright. Oh, Ensnaring Bridge only costs 1 mana? Value. Oof. Another Karn? Yeah. Alright. We have 1 turn, basically. Titan? It is a Titan. There's an Ensnaring Bridge, though. This is actually tricky. I actually think that the correct line here is to Pact for Reclamation Sage and blow up the Sorcerer's Spyglass. We need a Pioneer deck to play with. Still searching for some idea. Yeah, I mean, I would have been playing the Green Devotion deck, and I had a ton of fun with it. Yeah. And then there's the mono green ramp deck, which also sounds pretty good. So I was probably going to go for that. I was hoping you would say that, says Impulse. Yeah, no. So, but yeah, for real, my opponent's gonna start spitting out 2/2s, and then we are not gonna have answers to Ensnaring Bridge. But then my opponent's going to eventually run out of lands. So I think that is the line. Because it's the only way that we don't get locked out next turn. Because even if I attack here, then I just get locked out by Lattice. So I think that the line is this one. And we're going to be facing 2 Walkers and an Ensnaring Bridge, but my opponent with no more mana. And then eventually we're going to draw a Titan. And I guess that we are only looking for... Oh, 1 more? For good measure? Nice. Like, they're going to eventually start having too many lands. Like, for example, the Ugin needs to kill the Raminab right now. That's basically a forced play. For 1 mana, they have Biting Needle too. If they have Biting Needle, that would be gross. They do have Biting Needle too. Wow, they have both? Wow, that's so insane. That's brutal. Yeah, Ogun is still making things cheaper, but like only 2, right? So it's fine. Wow, that is insane. All right, so we just need to draw Force of Vigor now, which is a one-off in our deck, so no big deal. It's a breeding pool that doesn't do anything. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now that we have the second blue source and we can transmit if we need to, I'd rather switch lands up. So Field of the Dead would be pretty good now. Field of the Dead is good. Titan, I guess it's a Field of the Dead, so it's fine. Yeah, my opponent is just like drawing all their castables. Oh, they're gonna go with the liquid metal coating route? Interesting. So I guess now I really need that Force of Vigor, like right now. That's fine. All right, so we just start the zombie parade, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Five, 6. So Field of the Day is gonna be one of this, and the second one. Tolaria West. I guess so, right? They're gonna destroy it next turn, but then we have Ramunap, right? So it's fine. This is a clogged up battlefield. Got zombies. They can start going after my lands if they want. This is hilarious, actually, like how we ended up playing this game because we just like sideboarded very poorly. I mean, eventually they're gonna need to draw some uncastable. My opponent has been actually pretty lucky about drawing all cards that they can cast. Like literally every turn, my opponent has been able to cast the card that they, with a single land, they've been able to cast the card that they top decked. We do have the battlefield superiority for what's worth. Expedition map, yeah, which they can't crack. That's funny. But I mean, like every turn that goes by that my opponent gets away with this, they get like a little bit further and further ahead. Like right now, we are hanging by a thread. I mean, all of this gets completely blown out by Force of Vigor, right? Like if we draw Force of Vigor, we just win. What can we transmute for? I don't think there's anything relevant. We can basically just like clean the deck. But again, we sideboarded poorly because I thought that my opponent was playing a different deck, so there's nothing much that we can do otherwise. But yeah, at any point if we find Force of Vigor, we kind of win. That sucks because that is going to allow my opponent to like play more spells now. Like at this point, most of my opponent's deck is castable. So now we have like one, maybe two more turns to... One, maybe two more turns to find the Force of Vigor. We can't answer the onboard chalice, so we can't get packed. Like, but I mean, we could get packed. It's just like it wouldn't do anything. Yeah. So now my opponent, now basically they can cast every card in their deck. I wonder if they're gonna go for Lattice here, and we can get them. Oh yeah, we're gonna get them. Take this, poor sideboarding. Take this, poor sideboarding. Got him. I mean, Force of Vigor. Can we get a Force of Vigor here? Force of Vigor? Force of Vigor. You have to say it with, confidence. Force of Vigor. All right, I can't use that one. Force of Vigor. That's not a Force of Vigor. So we still have outs, so I'm gonna keep playing towards those outs, basically. So I'm going to continue, like, cleaning my deck and stuff. Playing towards those outs. Man, this game has been a slugfest. They're gonna Relic next, then try Lattice again, probably. But that gives me like 2-3 more turns, probably, maybe. Yeah, Relic of Progenitors. So that's gonna be 2 more turns. You have a Worm Coil. The only problem is like now my opponent is actually starting to be like they are getting at parity on board. Right. Force of Vigor? That's not a force. Still playing to my outs. So I have 2 more turns. Lattice gets exiled. So this turn, Karn goes up. Next turn, Karn goes up again. Following turn. So I have 2 more turns to find Force of Vigor. That is the wrong one to target, I think. Should have gone on the Sunhome. No, I don't think that's gonna be a good... I mean, I guess I have 2 extra so okay, never mind. So I guess I have this turn. This is my last draw step. You can still force through lattice. No, I can't, because I can't cast spells at that point. And I don't know if force. This is the last turn. That's not a force of vigor. I'm just gonna concede and go to the next game. The way that for the lattice works is it makes all cards that are on the battlefield, spells and permanents are colorless, and force makes you exiled a colorless card, a green card, which you don't have. So that is the difference. So now we can sideboard properly for the matchup at hand. All right. We're gonna mulligan this. We're going to keep this. Poggers. I feel like I'm gonna be greedy. I'm gonna bottom the force. It doesn't do anything in the early turns. Unless I get like very punished and my opponent just... Nice. Warping Whale. Warping Whale. I might get Tron here. Ugh, I guess. Don't have it. Don't have it. Don't have it. Don't have... Damn it! And they also have the... Oh, Thought Knot. They always have... I should have known, right? My bad. Wow. And the Contortion. Opponent just had it all. Alright. I'm gonna give my opponent 1 turn. But I can Titan next turn with this sequencing. They have another Thought Knot? Alright. Liquid metal coating. Yep. Yeah, this is too much. I mean, I think it was correct to assume that my opponent will not have the natural Tron, right? Like, they are not really likely to have the natural Tron on turn 3. And if I manage to stay ahead that way, it's so good for me, right? So I could have gone for like the coward play, but yeah, I just can't. I'm not on board, and I'm super behind. I just can't come back from this. So I'm just gonna give my opponent the GGs. Yeah, that was... Man. Rough stream today. Very rough stream. And honestly, I still almost never drew the Explorers in all these steerings. And when I drew the Explorers, I drew 3 of them and they were bad. With Tron, you basically lose on this. Yeah, Sub-Zero, but it's just like, what do I do? Do I like? I'm not ahead, right? Like I am not ahead because I only have 2 lands in play. I can go Ghost Quarter. My opponent puts you actually behind. It's not like Ghost Quartering your opponent puts you ahead. Ghost Quartering your opponent puts you behind. And at that point, I am not ahead on board because my opponent answered my scout. And I am falling behind on multiple axes. So I need to play to have a more impactful play on the following turn by hoping that my opponent doesn't have it for one single turn. And if they don't have it, which they are not likely to have it, and then you're actually in a much better spot. Yeah, so I don't think that Ghost Quarter in there it's the line. Because also, what if my opponent doesn't have Tron? It's just like, what are you gonna do, right? If your opponent doesn't have Tron, then you just put yourself far behind for nothing. But yeah, it's rough. Art Trend, what do I play drums for? I play in multiple bands, like cover bands and stuff like that. I did have a couple of original projects in the past, but not so much anymore. Thoughts on Eternal Winds in the Sideboard? Tried it. It's fine. It just like it's like a grindy thing. Like you were bringing in like mid-range matchups and stuff. Tracker is just better in my opinion. Have you tested Mystical Dispute on stream yet? I'm still trying to finalize my list for Richmond. I have not. Tomorrow I will be playing a Karn list. So we're gonna be back on Karn. I'm gonna do some tweaks and see if I can find a way that I'm happy of mixing Karn together with Once Upon a Time. And of course, we're gonna be playing Steerings because Steerings is actually insane within the Karn shell. So we're gonna see what happens. This Explorer is a bad omen. I mean, it's just I didn't draw it ever. Like, yeah, when I streamed on Monday, I didn't draw it ever, and when I drew it, it was amazing. And then today, I didn't draw it ever, and then a couple of times it was medium, and then there was like that time against Burn when it was just horrendous, and Steerings would have been significantly better. So it's just like it's in a weird spot. Um, I don't know though. Like I had a significantly better record with Steerings over Explore, so it's not um, like it's not like we're fixing something, you know. And that is what makes me a little bit more hesitant to go back to Explore. Even a split here did not feel great. So I feel like Explorer was kind of a bust, unfortunately, because I really like this card, and I've been a big fan of this card in the past. But also is the fact that we hit some really bad side of variants today, like really bad. um, but that's fine. That is fine. Never seen a drummer with a shirt on. This is the first for me. Nice. Yeah, Arte, no, I do tend to play with my shirt on. I know, it's kind of a problem. Any more questions? Yeah, I don't know about Mystical Dispute, Saint Elmo, basically, to answer your question. Didn't, I don't think I would want it over Disdainful Stroke. That is the short answer. But I mean, I'm down to seeing, like, to giving it a shot. It's just like, I don't know. I don't want to play it over Disdainful Stroke, and like what Austin Collins played when he top aided, like he had 4 pieces of counter magic, which I think it's a lot. I don't want to play 4 pieces of counter magic, so I would not play more like 3. So that would be like 2 strokes, 1 dispute, maybe something like that. I don't even know. Collins was trying to target Ursa's. Yeah, I mean, I think Stroke targets Ursa's better. Yeah, for sure it makes sense, but like we have so many tools against Ursa, right? When I sideboard against the Ursa Oko deck, I bring in like this. That's some really heavy sideboarding. So it's just like it's not like we're lacking answers to Ursa, right? So what about over the second force? I mean, we are. How many times did we bring in force in today? It was a lot. It was a lot. How many times would we brought in the dispute? Once, right? Yeah, once against the blue red Delver deck. We wouldn't have brought it in against any other deck. Because like spending 3 mana for a mana leak against the combo deck like TitanShift or the Grishoalbrand deck that we played, it's not something that I want to be doing. Like I would rather have this Disdainful Stroke just because it is a hard counter to for Through the Breach that costs 2 mana. I would much rather have a Disdainful Stroke against Grishoalbrand, even though it's terrible. But I much rather have that over Dispute. Against Neobrand, maybe it's a little bit different because Dispute counters Neoform, so maybe it's a little bit more of a consideration. I don't know, like both seem horrendous in the matchup anyway, but like this Disdainful Stroke, just like it's a hard counter for the Rider. I've won games already just by like hard countering the Allosaurus Rider and just like that's it, because that's how Neoform works, you know. It just tries to do one thing, and when it fails to do so, they just concede. Just saying on, how are you liking the 2-2 split of Explore strings? It felt pretty bad today, Freezer. I didn't like it. And even when I play four explorers, four explorers felt terrible today. It felt okay on Monday. On Monday, I think we went 3-2 and 4-1, if I'm not mistaken, and it felt okay there. But today, it just like it felt so bad. I I wonder if I think it was just like a fluke. You know, it's just like we just got lucky on Monday somehow. And today we did not get lucky. We did not get lucky multiple times today. All right, that's gonna be it for me. Actually, this week I'm going to be streaming. I didn't stream yesterday, so I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow and also on Friday because I'm gonna be around here in LA and stuff. So that's gonna be nice. So yeah, I will be back at the usual time, 11 a.m. PST. So look for me there because you will find me. We'll be back with some Karns tomorrow. See how Karn's doing right now in the meta. I expect that Karn is actually doing pretty well in the current meta game, right? Like there's so many things that Karn is just like very nice against. Um, I don't know. We're gonna see. But yeah, thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you for the follows, and if you haven't followed, make sure you actually do because you can get notified whenever I go live and stuff. If you would like to subscribe, you can do so with that link over there. You get access to these sweet emotes, as well as the sideboard guide and all these sideboard guides. Actually, the way to access those guides is you need to join my Discord, the Primetime Soho Discord. Link your Twitch to your Discord accounts and then wait a couple of hours and you're gonna get access to the sideboard guide channel in the sub only channels. If you like to follow me on Twitter, you can do so there. If you like to check out my YouTube channel, and if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much, by the way. But yeah, you know where to find me in YouTube if you're watching me on YouTube. Finally, TCG Player. Oh, there's actually a new promotion that I'm going to premiere tomorrow with TCG Player, so that should be cool too. But for now, if you're planning on buying any cards from TCG Player, if you buy them using that link, you would basically be supporting the stream for free, which is some nice little value. And finally, if you would like to donate to the stream, donations are always very, very appreciated. And with any donation of $15 or more, I will be playing any deck of your choosing live here on stream through a full league. And yeah, so thanks for hanging out today. I will be back tomorrow, so don't miss out on the content. and we're gonna go raid my friend K Ponce. So let's join his stream right now. Have an amazing rest of the day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.